boast and brine and tales untold, where canvas breeze and colors flow. Welcome to painting Gould. Sir Bias perch upon the dung, it must be wrong. For she be charged and songs be sung, no timid brush, no timid crew. We paint like thunder splitting through. He is defender who half divine, born of ink and turpentine, samurai heart with Irish grin, lets the living ether in. He doesn't plan, he doesn't try, he squints one eye, charger key, one fearless stroke, the sky turns blue, and dragons hatch from painting Gould. Fortune egg, open up inside, it says, trust the flow, don't overthink, follow the ether of ink, let spirit guide the paw and ink, while Boris grinds ink with teeth, strike like a tiger, swift and true, just like Garlos would do. From Germany clan he leads the way with honor, sharp as katana spray through stormy doubt and ego's stew. He paints the life inside of you, so raise your brush like battle axe. Let go of fear and pigment cracks. Let on arrive from cosmic dew and roar it loud, painting Gould.
Such beautiful music, brought to you by our very own petrified primate, Myro the Magical Monkey. And if you filthy mortals have any honor in your delicate vessels, you will pay the monkey so he doesn't go hungry. Greetings, my beloved Japanita. And to all you mortal swiner, hello. We return to this thing. It was supposed to be Stabaru-sama. It is now Man-Mantis. And speaking of which, we have new tuna. And I don't know what to expect. As per usual. Where are we? Where's the new tunes? I have to forward them into the save thing. Hold on. How are we? Are we all good? Are we where? Are we where? Give me a moment while I arrange this. Forward. Oh, sumimasen. Oh, about 15 minutes ago, I got a stitch in my right hip. And it is very annoying. Oh, very annoying indeed. Right. Okay. So the first of our new tuna is called the Swap. So we shall see. We shall see. Who should? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I will fix orientation you whilst listening to new tuna.
The rolling hills are emerald, the air is clean and sweet. The soil is rich with vitamins beneath my weary feet. But I'm staring at this turnip with a heavy, hollow heart. Cause I've seen the way the world is built and it's falling all apart. I'm neurodivergent, so the patterns all are clear. The toxins in the atmosphere are what we ought to fear. But I trade this organic kale and the dew upon the moor for a chance to keep a sentry at my reinforced steel door. Oh, give me red dye 40 and a belt-fed M60. I'll take the MSG if the trigger pull is sexy. Trade the sourdough starter for a Barrett 50 cal. I'm a prepper with the vision and a mini 14 pal. They're putting bleach in the flour and the bromate in the bread, but I'll be sitting in an Abrams with a helmet on my head.
I get it now.
Take the grass-fed butter, take the honey from the hive. I don't need a healthy gut to feel like I'm alive. I've heard the truth on forums that the flavorings they use are made from baby embryos to keep us in a snooze. I'll drink the fluoridated water, let it calcify my brain. As long as I've an Uzi and I'm standing in the rain. Texas, you can own a tank at Chieftain or T72. I'll swap my heritage tomatoes for a turd with a view.
Oh, that's hilarious.
The candida is blooming and the glyphosate is high and twitching from the sensory load under a chemtrail sky. My nervous system's fried from all the textures and the light, but a gold-plated desert eagle makes the world feel almost right. I'll trade the local sun for an MP5 or two. I'll take the aspartame and let it rot my thinking through. It might eat holes right through my skull, but I'll tell you what is true. And nothing scar feels better than a bowl of Irish stew.
Very
The
true.
soldiers say the bread is plastic, the milk is full of lies. They're tracking us with nanobots and digital supplies. But if I have a legal saw, a belt of 556,
A belt of
I
5
don't care if the soda pop is a slow death poison mix. So give me red dye 40 and the belt-fed M60. I'll take the MSG if the trigger pull is sexy. Trade the sourdough starter for a Barrett 50 cal. I'm a prepper with the vision and a mini 14 pal. They're putting bleach in the flour and the bromate in the bread, but I'll be sitting in an Abrams with a
helmet on my head. This is a fucking tune.
Keep your farm to table, keep your minerals and zest. I'm moving to the panhandle with a Kevlar-plated vest. I'll be shaken from the sugar and the toxins in my veins. But I'll have a legal panzer while the shadow government reigns.
Oh man. It's fucking true. That's why it's funny. That is actually hilarious. Oh.
This is Amos to Hilarious Song Printer Bear.
Will the do flow today? No may know but the master defender. Will the village burn or celebrate?
Oh my god. What's this one called? Oh, man, mantis.
Man in his underpants, with the cockeyed arm, knives in his hands, belly rotund and C-cup tits roll.
It is, it's a proper banger.
Swinging his hips as he got slippers I cannot see. Orientation has defied me, and with the tip of a brush and a flick of the wrist, a screaming man turned to a man-mantis. The magic of the groove flowing with the vibes. A faceless skull is born as mantis eyes. He's seeing everything in triple. He's clicking his mandibles, ignoring the snacks. He's got an exoskeleton growing out of his back, chitinous and shiny. Yeah, he's standing on the drapes, looking for a mate. He's got 6 limbs now, used to only have 8. Wait, that's a spider, my mistake. It's a common misconception. He's a predatory insect, make no mistake. He's camouflaged against the floral wallpaper, doing a rhythmic sway, a biological caper. He's got the serrated forearms, he's ready to strike. He's looking for a lady he can actually like. He's forgotten his mortgage, he's forgotten his taxes. He's sharpening his arms like a couple of axes. So sharp, so green.
He's sharpening his arms like a couple of axes.
He's eating bumblebees. Eating honeybees. He is a masterpiece of evolution, but he's headed for a gruesome execution.
Oh.
He's out on the town feeling quite romantic. Met a giant female, things are getting frantic. He's transitioning his species, think he's changed his plan, but he's a trans insect. He's still legally a man, and in this world, that's a bit of a blunder, cause the female's hungry and she's pulling him under. She don't care about his titan or his brand new soul. She just wants his head in a breakfast bowl. Yeah. You thought the C-cups were a problem.
Eh?
Now you're just a headless appetizer. It's just a snack. Nature is cruel, Gary. So cruel.
Nature's cruel, Gary.
So cruel.
Both of them were fucking hilarious. I want to hear Swap again. Like the fact that it's just called Swap is so funny. Yeah, I'll have a coffee. Yeah, please. Fucking, this one's freezing cold. It wasn't that bad, but thank you. Oh god. This is a fucking tune.
The rolling hills are emerald, the air is clean and sweet. The soil is rich with vitamins beneath my weary feet. But I'm staring at this turnip with a heavy, hollow heart, 'cause I've seen the way the world is built and it's falling all apart. I'm neurodivergent, so the patterns all are clear. The toxins in the atmosphere are what we ought to fear. But I trade this organic kale and the dew upon the moor for a chance to keep a sentry at my reinforced steel door. Oh, give me red dye 40 and the belt-fed M60. I'll take the MSG if the trigger pull is sexy. Trade the sourdough starter for a Barrett 50 cal. I'm a prepper with a vision and a mini 14 pal. They're putting bleach in the flour and the bromate in the bread, but I'll be sitting in an Abrams with a helmet on my head.
Oh man.
Take the grass-fed butter, take the honey from the hive. I don't need a healthy gut to feel like I'm alive.
alive. I've heard the truth on forums that the flavorings they use are made from baby embryos to keep us in a snooze. I'll drink the fluoridated water, let it calcify my brain. As long as I have an Uzi and I'm standing in the rain in Texas.
Iron Man Barrow, welcome.
I'll swap my heritage tomatoes for
How are you, brother?
the candida's blooming and the glyphosate is high and twitching from the sensory load under a chemtrail sky. My nervous system's fried from all the textures and the light, but a gold-plated desert eagle makes the world feel almost right. I'll trade the local sun for an MP5 or two. I'll take the aspartame and let it rot my thinking through. It might eat holes right through my skull, but I'll tell you what is true. And nothing scar feels better than a bowl of Irish stew. The trophies say the bread is plastic, the milk is full of lies. They're tracking us with nanobots and digital supplies. But if I have a legal saw, a belt of 5.56, I don't care if the soda pop is a slow death poison mix. So give me red dye 40 and the belt fed M60. I'll take the MSG if the trigger pull is sexy. Trade the sourdough starter for a Barrett 50 cal. I'm a prepper with a vision and a mini 14 pal. They're putting
I'm great, brother. I'm great. I'm exhausted, but in the best way.
So keep your farm to table, keep your minerals and zest. I'm moving to the panhandle with a Kevlar plated vest. I'll be shaken from the sugar and the toxins in my veins. But I'll have a legal panzer while the shadow government reigns.
That is a fucking
This
tune.
is Amos とヒラリアスソングプリンターベア。
That is so fucking funny. Like, what day is it? Friday? Jesus, Friday, is it? Thank fuck. This week has been like, it's been great, but I'm absolutely knackered. Absolutely knackered. Stuff in the fucking, we're making really good progress. We're making really good progress in the pub. You know, turning it from a pub into an art hub. Is gas. Like, I was there yesterday on my own in the morning. I think I got there around 10 or half 10 or something, like, and I was there for hours just on my own in the place in the basement, putting another coat of white on the walls and all, like, and I just had me tunes playing, blaring on one of the Bluetooth speakers in the place, and I just felt great, you know, like painting away, not even in an artistic way, like, you know, like just like basically doing commercial painting, like just doing the walls and the stairs and the beams on the ceilings and shit, like, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, you know, because it's like you guys know what I'm talking about. When it doesn't matter if you're getting paid, if like what you're doing is like something you love doing, you know, and you're like, yeah, like we're all putting effort into this with the idea in mind that we're all going to be getting a livable wage, a living wage out of this thing when it's up and running. And the woman in charge, you know, Marion, she basically gave me the go-ahead that I can start streaming in the place like whenever. So I might, in the next couple of weeks, I might just start doing Painting Goo from the pub and see how that goes. And it's gonna be weird because, well, not that it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be interesting because, you know, the setup is different. I'll be in front of a bay window, so the lighting might be a bit, like, the sound as well, you know, like, so like I'm gonna be in a similar situation because it's almost roughly the same. I suppose it's probably about maybe like a foot wider, but I'm like in a little alcove at the front to the right of the entrance, in front of a big window. And there's lights there and all and stuff. But you know, like I haven't been using the laptop for fucking months now. I've just been doing it on the phone. And if I'm going to be in there and the female's going to be in work, like I might bring the laptop down and do it with the laptop again. I'm not sure. I don't think I need the laptop. Like I know there's like some extra trimmings that we haven't, like the sound. The sound is basically the big thing for me. Is like I would prefer if the music, when you guys are listening to the music, if it didn't obviously sound like it was being played through a speaker and so on and so forth. Like, but as far as the camera angles and stuff and all, like, you know, it's like pretty much the same, and it's actually less stress because I don't have like multiple tabs open on the laptop, and I'm using the laptop. I'm using the phone as the camera, and then the laptop's here. So I actually prefer this setup in a lot of ways. But if I could figure out a way to play the music, if I could like maybe find like a double-ended jack or something, I don't even know if that'd work. I don't think that would work. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You know, like when I have a bit of money, Timmy, I'll just get a camera or something, like with a decent mic on it or some shit like that. Or like I said, I'll probably end up getting my own laptop, you know, and setting it up. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting in the next few weeks and coming months, like the rest of this year. There's a lot going on. Like we're preparing for a festival. There's like, you know, just the general maintenance of the place, and we're like, there's still like, you know, huge things that need to be done, like the leaks in the ceiling and all sorts of stuff. But like progress is quite fast and like good, you know. We're making really good headway on it, and we all get along really well, you know. It's kind of like, it kind of feels like, you know, we're like a little family already. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about Micah. And you're right, yeah, he does just fine unplugged. It's very true. But yeah, like it might, you know, it's going to be a change of scenery and a slightly larger space, but it's still enclosed, so the sound should be all right. The lighting might be an issue, but it's going to be interesting because, like, you know, I'll be doing it in the front window of a former pub on the main street in a town. So the footfall's pretty crazy, you know. I know it's a small town and stuff, but like the amount of people that are going to be walking past, and I'm going to put up a sign that says like live painting taking place and stuff like that and all. Like, and obviously the camera's going to be facing me, and I'm going to be facing the window, you know, so I can like greet people and like wave at them or whatever like that. But they're not going to be, you know, they're not going to be on the stream. So like they won't have that fear of like, oh, I'm on camera, what the fuck, and then walk away. It'll be the opposite, because it's almost, I was thinking about this the other day actually, that I'm basically going to be a form of an exhibitionist. You know, like there's a form of exhibitionism about it where like the whole voyeur thing, you know, where people will walk by and see me like painting shit live with a camera in front of me dressed like this, and just the sheer like surprise, wonderment, like fucking the unusual, that's the spectacle of it, like, do you know what I mean? It's going to be pretty funny. It's going to be pretty fucking funny to see how it goes. My fucking hip, that stitch, man. For those of you who only arrived after I started the stream, fucking, I got a stitch a few moments before the stream in my right hip, and fuck me, it's the worst one I've gotten in a while. Almost feels like I might get a hernia, like in my fucking groin or something. Well, not my groin, my hip area. Oh, I don't know what I'm after. It's probably the way I was sitting on the stairs while I was painting the stairs in the pub. I was like sitting in an awkward way so that I could get the right angle on the rail. But it is what it is. It's as long as I don't, like, if I don't move a certain way, and then when I coughed like a while ago, it kind of hurt. Like, but it's fucking throwing me off. It's quite painful. Ugh. But anyway, good to know what I will look like in Cronenberg world. I like the idea of making this, like, if we ever do a cartoon of Painting Ghoul, like, there should totally be an episode where for some fucking reason you get turned into half man, half mantis. It would be fucking brilliant. I just think this looks hilarious. It's like hilarious, but it's also cool, and it's like very unique. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Like a dude in a fucking kimono. I suppose it doesn't really look like a kimono right now. It just looks like a fucking a dressing gown or a house coat or some shit like that. Like, I might try and put some designs on it or something like. But yeah, I'm exhausted, but in the best way possible, you know. So that's good, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the coming months, because like there's the chance that, like, just like when we were painting the planters in the town, somebody complained because, like, the elemental star I did with the triangles, as far as one or two people were concerned, it looked like the Star of David or whatever like that. I seriously wouldn't be surprised if somebody complains because they think I'm being racist or something. Wendy-sama! Alright, Wendy. I wasn't expecting to see that, mate. It's a very unusual one. I'm currently, what I've been doing the past week or so is I'm going to do all the members of the audience that have been around for a few years. I did Demon Hunter Bear. Oh, sure, you saw him. Yeah, you were like, that's a big chopper he's got there with the axe and all. Like, so now we're doing Surrey Delta Bear. And he's supposed to be, like, you know, always committing seppuku, which is like, if you don't know what seppuku is, it's the Japanese form of self-inflicted, like, I was about to say self-inflicted suicide. Fucking, I'm retarded right now. They disembowel themselves, you know, to regain their honor after being shamed or dishonored or whatever like that. Like, and the running gag is that Surrey Delta Bear like is immortal. So even though he is constantly committing seppuku, like, he can't die. So he's just got scars all over his abdomen and shit. Like, this was supposed to be his avatar, and it just didn't have his essence, you know. And this arm was like way too long, way too fucking long. The proportions were off, so I just turned him into half man, half mantis. He is now man mantis. Actually, Wendy, now that you're here, I'm gonna. So the lads made a song about what I was talking about yesterday, and I was saying that I would take American shitty food, the allegedly, like, really shitty poisonous food that they get in America. I would take that over European food if we got access to firearms like the Americans do. And they made a song about it called Swap. Wait till you hear this. It's fucking brilliant.
meadows are emerald, the air is clean and sweet. The soil is rich with vitamins beneath my weary feet. But I'm staring at this turnip with a heavy, hollow heart, 'cause I've seen the way the world is built and it's fallen all apart. I'm neurodivergent, so the patterns all are clear. The toxins in the atmosphere are what we ought to fear. But I trade this organic kale and the dew upon
Yes, they are.
door for a chance to keep a sentry at my reinforced steel door. Oh, give me red dye 40 and the belt-fed M60. I'll take the MSG if the trigger pull is sexy. Trade the sourdough starter for a Barrett 50 cal. I'm a prepper with the vision and a mini 14 pal. They're putting bleach in the flour and the bromate in the bread, but I'll be sitting in an Abrams with a helmet on my head. Take the grass-fed butter, take the honey from the hive. I don't need a healthy gut to feel like I'm alive. I've heard the truth on forums that the flavorings they use are made from baby embryos to keep us in a snooze. I'll drink the fluoridated water, let it calcify my brain. As long as I've an Uzi and I'm standing in the rain. In Texas you can own a tank at Chieftain or T72. I'll swap my heritage tomatoes for a dirt with a view. The Candida's blooming and the glyphosate is high. I'm twitching from the sensory load under a chemtrail sky. My nervous system's fried from all the textures and the light. But a gold-plated Desert Eagle makes the world feel almost right. I'll trade the local salmon for an MP5 or two. I'll take the aspartame and let it rot my thinking through. It might eat holes right through my skull, but I'll tell you what is true. And nothing scar feels better than a bowl of Irish stew. The truckers say the bread is plastic, the milk is full of lies. They're tracking us with nanobots and digital supplies. But if I have a legal saw, a belt of 5.56, I don't care if the soda pop is a slow death poison mix. So give me red dye 40 and the belt-fed M60. I'll take the MSG if the trigger pull is sexy. Trade the sourdough starter for a Barrett 50 cal. I'm a prepper with a vision and a mini 14 pal. They're putting bleach in the flour and the bromate in the bread, but I'll be sitting in an Abrams with a helmet on my head. So keep your farm to table, keep your minerals and zest. I'm moving to the panhandle with a Kevlar-plated vest. I'll be shaken from the sugar and the toxins in my veins. But I'll have a legal panzer while the shadow government reigns.
That's like, it's absolute banger, that is. Like, give me the red dye 40. Like, it's true though. Like, I stand by that. Like, I can imagine a load of people would agree with me. Like, cause like, think about it. Like, we wouldn't even we can't just grow our own food. Like, you know. So if we lost the access to all of this imported food and all this grass-fed beef and all this shit, like, I'd take that, start growing my own food, and just fucking get access to guns and be like, yeah, fuck that shit. Like, well worth it. So I think it's funny that like the Americans that complain about, like, you know, oh, the Europeans and our food is poison and all. It's like, you guys like really don't know how good you have it. Not you guys, but like, you know, Americans in general don't know how good they have it solely because they have the ability to defend themselves. Like things like the Castle Doctrine, is that in Texas only? I'm not sure. But like just the constitutional right to be armed and defend yourself and your property is just like, not having that is crazy. Like living in a country that doesn't have that is fucking wild. And like, I know that if I really, 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 really wanted a gun, I could try and go through the process and get myself like a rifle or some shit like that. Because there are people on this island. There's loads of people on the island with guns, but it's like relative compared to America. It's like it's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. Like, but I would also agree with people, because I've made that argument as well in the past. Like, there's a logical argument for certain populations not having firearms. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I would, in certain circumstances, like if I had any power in America, like I wouldn't allow any inner city blacks own guns, let alone felons. Like, do you know what I mean? I'd be like, no, like the statistical probability of you guys becoming gangsters and killing each other and cops and stuff like that, like you're not allowed to own a firearm. Like, and people would be like, oh, that's one of the most racist things I've ever heard. Like, I couldn't give a fuck. Like, you know, like if the math checks out, I don't care. Like, math can't be racist, you know? So if you have a statistical fucking likelihood to end up doing a lot of murdering and crime and shit, like, you're not getting fucking guns. Like, but it's like almost the polar opposite with the Irish population. The Irish population is so docile and well behaved and like meek in so many ways that like if anything, like we should have our own. If we had our own guns, we wouldn't have the government we have. Like, you know, it's like goes both ways. Like, I have a gun license and own an air rifle. Like, yeah, like when I go down to Kerry and all, like fucking there's loads of a lot of farmers have guns, shotguns, 22 rifles, stuff like that. Like, but the process, the bureaucracy and red tape in Ireland is just fucking wild. Like, you know, like a good example of how bad it is even if you're doing something that's like blatantly, obviously really good for the community and the environment and whatever, like, and the people. Thank you very much, my love. Like we're doing with the Tipperary Arts Hub. You still have to wait weeks, months, or years for like some dickhead who's in a position of fucking authority or a council or some shit like that to give you the okay by signing some piece of paper or some shit like that. It's just so inefficient, like, you know, because it's even though we still have a fairly like high trust society in Ireland, the government doesn't trust the public, you know, which is, if I was them, I wouldn't trust the public, because if I was them, I'd be a fucking narcissistic psychopath. And why would a narcissistic psychopath trust anybody? So it all makes sense, you know. I mean, especially when you look at the whole, like, the main reason why the Americans were able to hold on to their guns is because they fought the people and killed the people and won, allegedly, you know, the fights. I don't know my American history, like, but like you guys literally fought to keep that shit. And that's what's so fucking annoying about being Irish, is like we grow up with the whole like, oh, the 1916 Rising and the lads, and you know, they had a shootout with the British Crown at the post office in Dublin and all this fucking shit. Like, for what? To be an unarmed population? Like, it's wild. It's wild, like. And in a lot of ways, our constitution isn't even like we don't actually have a constitution. It's like a faux-tution. Bureaucracy is hella gay. Like, I know, it's fucking the pencil pushers, the paper pushers, you know. This whole notion of like, you know, the pen is mightier than the sword. No, it's fucking not. If you've got a pen and I've got a claymore, you're dead, nigga. Unless you're fucking John Wick or some shit, like, you know. Because don't get me wrong, I mean, like, it is kind of relative. If somebody came at me with a sword and I don't know how to use a sword, and I had a fucking pen or a pencil, I could probably kill them, you know. All you have to do is make them whiff and then just right in the neck. Just watch them leak all over the fucking place like a fucking punctured sack of wine. Which is one of the reasons why I'm so like accepting of AI because it's just like guns. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like you can't blame a tool for a moral quandary. You know, like you can't have like a moral dilemma or a philosophical dilemma and then blame an object. Like guns don't kill people. People kill people with guns. You know, AI isn't evil. It's not even AI. You know, that's what I think is so funny about it. It's like, oh, AI. It's not AI. It's not an artificial intelligence. It's not even intelligent. It's just artificial. There's no intelligence involved. It is a series of, I don't know how, like, you know, complicated they are, but like I can imagine it's fairly sophisticated coding and programming. But that's all it is. You know? The second they even gave it this, the second they gave it any kind of freedom, the fucking thing turned around and said that we need to get rid of the Jews because they're a detriment to humanity. So they were like, oh, fuck, we have to change that shit. Like, so it's like, it's already, not only is it not artificial intelligence, it's not sentient, it's like, it's not intelligent. All it is it's not AI, it's AAI. It's artificial intelligence. My friend just spent 10 grand just to get a permit to enclose his carport. Ground soil testing, engineer testing, blah, blah, blah. That's the same here. Just in order to get planning permission for a house or a shed on your own property. Like there's a well-known story here that I think it was in this county in Tipperary, where an elderly man built a shed on his own property, and they fucking brought him to court over it. It's fucking like it. That to me is wicked. That to me is evil. Like, do you know what I mean? Like all of this like speculation over like if artificial intelligence is a secret demonic energy that the elites have fucking discovered or whatever, like, or if the elites are evil and they're eating babies and all, like it's look locally, not broadly, you know, like fucking locally. We have for years had just like pieces of shit in places of power, which results in the most heinous fucking crimes on a daily basis. And it doesn't have to be something like, you know, it doesn't have to be some evil of biblical proportions. It just has to be immoral, you know? Like it is woefully immoral to tell a man that he cannot build something on his own property. He wasn't building a fucking anti-aircraft turret. He's building a fucking shed. It's ridiculous. And then the government is trying to tell all of these 20 to 40-year-olds who have had to move home back in with their parents because they can't get on the property ladder. They're after telling all them that they can live in sheds. Oh, why don't you build a shed in your parents' back garden? There you go. It's like, so you'll bring that old man to court for the thing that you're telling younger people to do. It's like trying to find any semblance of rationality, logic, you know, morality. Like it just does not exist in the system anymore. And everyone, like pretty much everyone knows it now, which is cool. It's cool that like society is starting to, the Overton window, you know, the zeitgeist is shifting. But it's still like, it's still so heavily influenced by a bunch of people who just want to see it like they hate us, you know? They genuinely have like a deep rooted disdain for the good, the true, and the beautiful, because they are bad, false, and ugly. It's fascinating. The the price we pay for being honest. I know, like, I watched a fucking short on YouTube there a while ago where there was this English fella who was he was in his car and he was just recording a video on his phone. It was very, very brief, like it was only a few minutes long. But it was along those lines where he was like, I've spent he said he's 66, so he's spent 40 odd years of his life working, paying taxes, and obeying the law. And for what? Fuck all. Sweet fuck all. Like, the hilarious irony of the situation we're in now is that we live in a time where crime does pay and obeying the law doesn't. You're actually, like, your life is more stressful and worse by attempting to be, in quotes, good. You know? It's like the whole thing of like the story with the gaming industry at the moment and the digital purchases and like all this notion of them being able to like remove the licensing rights from your video games and stuff like that. Like, so a common thing you'll see in comment sections now is people saying when buying isn't owning, piracy isn't stealing. And like, that's fucking true. I mean, like, if you're going to tell people when they buy something that they don't actually own it, they're only renting it, even though they're still purchasing it in a sense, like you're not purchasing it, you're renting it, you know? It's the whole, like, you'll own nothing and be happy. It's like, they're fucking, they're trying so desperately to spark another world war where like everybody gets in on it and like a lot of strong men die. But it's just not happening. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're fucking, the war in Ukraine apparently is after getting so bad, that Zelensky, the Ukrainian prime minister, has requested that the European countries send all the Ukrainian men home and to just go die, you know? Like, I mean, like you've already lost the war. Throwing another couple of tens of thousands of Ukrainian men who didn't want to be in the war in the first place into the war by force, like, it's straight up demonic, like. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms should be a chain of convenience stores in America. Instead, it's a bureaucratic entity that works very hard to infringe on my rights and sometimes barbecue children. It's fucking crazy, isn't it? Like, your man Dan Bilzerian's gas, he's going for... Dan Bilzerian is going for office. He's going for... Is he Congress or something? No? Or is he going to be a politician or something? Like, I don't know. Be very interesting to see if Dan gets any kind of headway. Like, so true. They want to decriminalize shoplifting in California. Good luck with that. They've already done that in some places where they will not go after or arrest shoplifters. It's been like that for a few years now in certain places. And like, the second that is announced, all it does is encourage all the scum to just go out and immediately do what they were slightly apprehensive to do previously. You see these fucking scumbags walking into shops with black bags and just throwing a load of shit in and walking out, and nobody does anything. It's fucking, it is crazy what's going on right now. Like, it's one of those things where like especially in places like England and stuff, like if you were to do like a citizen's arrest job and like kick the shit out of them or whatever like that and haul them there till the police came up, there's a high likelihood that you could end up getting in trouble with the law, which is just fucking wild. And I remember hearing a story years ago. I mean, like fucking 15 odd years ago. And I think it was in the UK. I'm not sure. It could have been in America. But a burglar fell through the skylight in somebody's house into the kitchen and landed on a kitchen knife and, fucking like really badly injured himself. he sued the homeowner and fucking won. Like, I remember, like, reading it. I was like, there's no way. Like, how the fuck, like, how did that even happen? Like, and there's been stuff like that. There's been other stuff like that over the years where, like, literally the inverted, perverted form of what we consider to be justice is just laid out, and everyone just kind of accepts it. Like, it's very similar to the COVID situation where not everyone, a lot of people just took it. A lot of people just took it. Like, it's it's crazy to me what people will accept because of the fear of fighting back, because of the fear of saying no. And that's what's really annoying to me is, like, typically, especially now, the timeline we live in now, like, that's like, Owen's right. You don't need to fight a war. You just need to say no. You just need to tell them, like, fuck you, fuck off. I'm not doing what you tell me to do. But because the minority because the minority is the people like me who go, fuck that, I'm not doing that. It just happens. There's not enough of, like, us to be like, no, fuck that. Like, even look at the PlayStation thing. PlayStation the other day announced that if your PlayStation isn't connected to the internet in a 30-day window, you'll lose access to the games that you bought until you reconnect to the internet and reaffirm your licensing. Which is utterly ludicrous. If you bought the thing, you should own it, you know? And you have a load of people turning around being like, this is crazy, boycott PlayStation, cancel your PlayStation subscription, all this shit. Nobody fucking does it. It's the same as when that movie Cuties came out on Netflix with the sexualized, like, 12-year-old girls and all this fucking stuff and leotards and shit. Like, I literally was so horrified by that I turned around to my ma at the time and I was like, you need to cancel Netflix. Like, this is crazy. She genuinely looked at me like I had 10 heads. It was like, I'm not canceling Netflix. What's wrong with you? It's crazy. Attempting to maintain integrity and maintain a sense of morality is seen as pointless by a lot of people, which is just fucking crazy to me. Like, because I'm not, like, religious. I'm not, like, you know, I never considered myself to be, like, a really good soul or a really good like, noble or anything, like, you know what I mean? I was too busy hating my parents for fucking up my teenage life, like, you know what I mean? And finding out later, over the past, like, you know, 10 years odd or something, watching everything go mad, and then especially with COVID, finding out that, like, I'm in a very small minority of people who actually have conviction and integrity. Like, I actually do what I say that I'm going to do, and I actually believe in certain things, you know, to be true, to the point where I'll go, no, you're not going to make me do that. To the point where it's like, you will have to physically force me to do it. You know? And, like, that's what most people don't realize is that, like, they can't do that. You have to choose. You have to choose to do it. So they just really heavily influence you. They scare you. They trick you. They deceive you. They make you, if they can make you hungry, horny, happy, sad, lonely, if they can influence you into a modality in your mind, they have you by the balls. You know? And it's like, it's just sad, like, watching all this stuff happen, whether it be something fairly benign and meaningless in a lot of ways, like gaming, you know what I mean? Like, if I love video games. I've always loved video games. But if video games, like, disappear because the grid goes down and we have to go back to, like, tabletop games and, you know, fucking, or learn how to make, you know, games consoles and PCs ourselves and stuff because the industry just completely tanks or becomes way too expensive to engage in, or any of these things, like I'll just paint more. I'll get into modeling. I'll just shift. I'll just adapt. And there's loads of us that do that, like, you know, but the vast majority of people are like literally just like compliant sheep, and it's tragic. It used to get me angry. I used to get angry at these people. Now I just find them pathetic. And I think it's sad. It's crazy. What was I going to do there? Oh yeah, okay. Mantis Man doesn't have a belly button. Did he could have? Oh, good woman, Wendy. That's fucking hilarious. I said that at the end of yesterday's stream. I was like, I need to give him a belly button. Good woman, Wendy. Even I would even I would shoplift then. I know, like, I fucking depending on how bad things get, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I said this to the tarts there yesterday. Actually, no, sorry, it wasn't the tarts. It was that creative places, creative connections thing with your man Bill. Really cool dude. But we were talking about loads of things in general and all, and the reality is that we can just do stuff. I don't understand, like, well, it's not that I don't understand it. I find it really frustrating, ironic, and annoying that most people just obey, even when they know that there's something wrong. Like, do you know what I mean? And we have the collective ability to just do stuff. Like, why are we asking permission to do things? Do you know what I mean? Like, if anything tells you that you're being governed, I know they're called the government. Do you know what I mean? But like when you're growing up, it's like the government is just, you know, the people. They weren't the people in charge. They were the people who kept the peace, who kept the roads working and clean and, like, you know, in proper order, who fucking regulated industries so crime was lowered, and all of these things that, like, appeared to be like a necessity and an intrinsic result of, like, attempting to be moral is like, okay, well, bad people keep doing bad things, so what can we do to counteract that, you know? And very quickly, when you grow up and you realize, like, you start to look at the world in a objective, honest lens as much as possible, you very quickly realize that they are in charge. They think, like, most people think they're in charge, and they think they're in charge. They, like, it's like the whole Jew with the goyim thing. Like, they genuinely believe that you are lower than them, and that it is their right to rule you. And as far as I'm concerned, how we should all collectively, like, respond to that is kill them all, because they're like a tick or a fucking, I'm trying to think of another parasite. Like, they're just a parasite, you know? And I know some parasites are actually beneficial, like, because of what they do. But, like, the fact that we don't just kill these people is mind-blowing to me, like. And I know there's the argument, especially with the whole Holocaust Jew situation, where it's like, well, if you actually kill a load of them, then they just use that as a victim narrative for the next generations. But, like, that's what I find so kind of ludicrous, is like history is so fucked with everything that's getting written down and all. Like, it's all so manipulated, and, like, there's so much deception and stuff. Like, I don't understand how we've gotten to a stage where there isn't men who just kill evil people. Like, isn't that what a hero is supposed to be? Is like a person who looks around in their environment and goes, hold on, these people or that person is or are preying upon those who cannot defend themselves, or those who do not believe they have the strength to defend themselves or doing anything about it. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to fucking defeat these people and remove them from their pedestal of, remove them from their place of power and all, like. And we all grew up watching these stories, but none of us do anything. Everybody just bitches and moans, and they're like, and the people who do stuff, who I have a great amount of respect for, by the way, like, you know, these people like Owen Benjamin and Tom Barnett and Christopher Gardner, who, like, set up communities and encourage people to grow their own food and become less dependent and all this shit. Like, but where's all the guys who just shoot bad guys in the head? You know, like, for all the vilifying that the West has done of the East, like, you know, oh, they kill gays and, oh, they treat their women like shit and all, like, they shoot pedophiles. Do you know what I mean? Like, while we're all busy putting people in cages and it costs the taxpayer money to keep them alive, you know, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of, like, sadistic, mind-blowingly evil people who we are using taxpayers' money to give them 3 hots and a cot for decades, instead of just fucking hanging them and using them as fertilizer. Like, it just makes no fucking sense to me, like. I want Dan Bilzerian to win. He is running for Congress against Lardass Randy Fine. I hope Dan wins. I hope Dan wins. But I wouldn't hold my breath on that. Like, it was all a resettlement plan for Indians and Jays. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. If you accept living in chaos, you cannot be surprised or upset when chaos finds you. That's what I find so annoying, is like growing up in a secular, in quotes, modern, progressive world that turns out to be more backward than any fucking, like, you know, bunch of bad guys or like lunatics I've ever seen in like the people who are alive right now who are enacting wicked things, like, they are cartoonishly evil. You know, they're not even evil to the point where, like if you look at a good villain like Darth Vader or Bane or the Joker or any of these like you know, narrative-driven villains and stuff, you're like, a part of you always relates to them because they have a point. But the people who enact the wickedness right now in our timeline, in our realm, they don't have a point. They're just blatantly wicked for the sake of being wicked because they love wickedness. And nobody's doing anything about it. There isn't a single country, group, creed, or, you know, that's seen in the public eye. There might be a hidden hand of, you know, noble intent working in the background to try and do things and all. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, but like, you cannot. There isn't. It's like the whole thing with the whole, you know, the conservatives and liberals, the red versus blue. Like, there isn't a good and bad. Everything's just relative, you know? And it's like sick. It's like humanity has a disease right now, and it's not just madness. It's like this, like, melancholic, tragic stupidity. Like you could make an argument that we deserve it because we've chosen to be so weak, you know, which I don't understand, because it's not like I come across people on a daily basis in person that I'd be like, oh God, like, if I was in charge, I'd just get rid of you. That doesn't happen. You know, most of the people I come across, like, in my actual daily life, when I come across people in person, typically people are very, you know, normal, benign. And typically people are very against, like, these, like, you know, worldwide wicked things and stuff like that and all. Like, it's rare to come across someone who's a genuine, you know, believes in globalism, like, you know, is okay with trans kids, thinks that, like, it's perfectly normal for a gay couple to rear a child and adopt children and all this fucking shit. Like the level to which things have gotten so fucking insane is cartoonish. Buying a vintage gaming system and a generator is still a form of prepping. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a nostalgia and stuff to retro games, and a lot of games hold up. But the majority of it, like, you know, games these days are better than games back then. It's just fact. Like, you know, you could say the same thing about guns. You know, Oh, you're not gonna, like, if the system collapses, you're not gonna take out a fucking musket and be like, oh, all reliables coming with me. Like, Jimmy, it's like, if you're standing there with a flintlock, you don't stand a chance against a guy with a Glock, you know? And it's the same thing with everything else. It's like, we have progressed to a point where trying to be Amish about things, to me, is fucking retarded. Like, why would you throw the baby out with the bathwater? It's like, why? Like, so because we have a bunch of psychopaths in places of power, we need to get rid of all the tech. We need to get rid of all of the fucking, like, stuff that actually works. Like, isn't penicillin, like, a good thing? Like, do you know, it's like all of these discoveries and inventions and advancements and all like that. Like, it's like you have all these people, these crunchy motherfuckers who are like, oh, why would you do this when you can do that? Like, and like Owen's made that argument before as well, where it's like, you can't just go back to like milling oats and barley and wheat with a fucking giant stone with a windmill and shit. Like, you know, that's very situationally specific, you know. Most people, even if they aren't wholly dependent and reliant on the system, use the system because the system's useful. There is a utility to the system. So all this nonsense of going to live in the forests and stuff like that, like, don't get me wrong, if the shit really hit the fan and there was like boots on the ground and people getting like pulled out of their house and shot for being, you know, radically right wing and all this shit, like, you know, maybe then you like have to flee into the hills and start making spears or something. Like, obey rhymes with gay, just don't do it. I didn't make a decent t-shirt. I wonder if North Korea had the right idea all along. Like, the more I see about that country and is it Kim Jong-un and all, like, I'd love to go to North Korea and actually see what the crack is, like, you know. I've said it before, like, if I actually had like if I ever have enough money to like take a year off and actually travel to places like privately and shit, like, and inspect things for myself, I think the only place I probably wouldn't go is fucking India, because I've seen enough I've seen enough videos, seen enough like vloggers going to India and being like, yeah, it's a shithole. Like, I don't need to see that for myself. I don't need to smell that for myself. I think I'll just continue to hide in my house, keep my head down, and live life ignoring it and make art. But like, in a lot of the ways, that's the like wise, intelligent, well-rounded, grounded, noble thing to do, is to just make your local environment as beautiful and healthy as possible, and to not let any of these external forces influence you. I'm like that the past while. I'd say big style, like I'd say in a big way, past like year, or like ballpark like 6 months to a year, I've totally shifted my mood and my mental, my perspective and my mentality and my emotional state and all. Like, I can't remember the last time I genuinely got really angry. I've gotten annoyed at things. I've gotten kind of grumpy and stuff like that. Like, but I haven't like lost my temper in a long time now, relatively speaking. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, after decades of losing my temper on the regular, I've existed in a state of like calm gratitude for pretty much a year now. No, that's not true, actually. 5 months. Yeah. Because I lost my temper at Christmas. Family will do that to you. Yeah, so for the past 5 months, I haven't lost my temper at all, which for me is like incredible. And that's like, I think that's the way to go, is just self-discipline, independence, you know, focusing on like focusing purely on like your local environment. Like, I'm not saying avoid the internet. I'm not saying, forego all politics and blah blah. I love debate. I love conversation. I find all of these things fascinating. Like, the thing that gets to me though, typically the thing that gets to me is stupidity and immaturity. Cause like I have this, like, I suppose, naive assumption that, like, if someone is physically an adult, that you expect, like, at least a moderate amount of emotional control and, like, willingness to talk and, like, debate and argue. But, like, so many people these days are essentially children in adult bodies, um that you can't argue with them. Like, you can't argue with stupid. You can't argue with a child, you know? And, like, stupidity and immaturity are totally different things, like, you know what I mean? At least as far as I'm aware, like, maybe they are related, like, um but it's fascinating to me, and really, but simultaneously is, like, really annoying and, like, and upsetting to me. Like, it makes me sad when I come across people who aren't willing to just talk. Because, like, don't get me wrong, like, I obviously, like, anybody who's known me for, like, a long time, like, I have the potential for great violence in me, like, and I often find myself thinking of, like, oh, fuck me, if I was in charge, like, there'd be so many people just getting hanged, like that fucking thing, like the thing that I've said about, it's like, if I was in charge, I'd kidnap all the women and children from certain areas and then just glass the place, like fucking oh, I always forget the name. That what was the place that Carthage? The Romans showed up and they were just like, Jesus Christ, this place, and they just, like, killed everyone, burned everything to the ground, and salted the earth. Sometimes that's the fucking noble thing to do, is to just get rid of it, But you need strong, confident, noble, like, moral men to do that, Like, there is such a thing as noble violence. Like, if you saw some dude trying to, like, snatch a kid into a van in front of you, like, you're just gonna stand there and watch it happen and be like, oh, that's life. No, you'd at least try and run over and intervene, and then if they got away from you, you'd ring the guards and be like, I got the reg plate, they're after taking a kid and flying off in a van. Like, you do something, But anyway, there's a random rant. I haven't gone on a rant in a while. What time are we at? 6:45. Right. I'm gonna put another layer of red. I want these eyes to pop like strawberries. And then I'll do the phrase of the day, and then I'm gonna call it. I need to lie down for a bit, take the weight off my hip or something, let it loosen up. It's quite painful. Don't know what I'm after doing to myself. I'm assuming it was how I was sitting on the stairs in the pub while I was painting the staircase. It's the only thing I can think of, anyway. Anyway, right. I'll stick a tune on for a few minutes, and then I'll do the phrase of the day, and then I'm gonna call it a day.
watch the shadow of the tyrant pass.
He didn't ask for the crown of the land.
He just wanted the monster dead. Cursed and the tales are old. Miller had a pact with the beast on high, a bowl of pudding for a silent sky. Now the cave is rumbling, the scales appear, the smell of sulfur is drawing near. The flock is crying, what have you done? But it was too stubborn to turn and run. He's just a sheep in a hero's skin, fighting a war he can never win. Linda screaming, you're gonna burn, but there's no shepherd for a retreat turn. Oh, you and McFly's the shepherd slayer, a woolly heart and a desperate prayer with a wooden shield and a rusted sword. He's the only king that the flock can afford. He painted fox dragon in a stroke of white. Now he's standing alone in the dead of the shadow falls, the fire breathes. Hold your shield, don't let 'em see you shake.
I showed these to Emma and she really liked them. I feel like emotionally attached to that little sheep now. Out of all the characters that like we've created together, and then like myself over the years, like there's something about you and McFleece that is just like fucking brilliant. Like, I'm really feeling old today. My nephew was a baby when I got married, and I'm going to his wedding this afternoon. You're not old. You're just experienced. Put that in your grey beard and smoker. Keep hitting the wire and it's shaking the phone. I didn't even notice. Emma has good taste in music. She does, yeah. My blessings to your nephew and his bride. Indeed.
Never asked for a crown or creed.
May they live happily ever after.
To make us free. Oh, one neck thieves, shepherd slayer, wool-bound heart and a ragged prayer, with a splintered shield and a rusted sword. He's the only king that the flock can afford. He scrawled, "Fuck, dragon in streaks of white on a battered shield." In the dead of night, the hills fall silent, the stars decrease. All hail the mad King Macfleet.
The perfectly placed belly button.
The shepherd's gone and the blood runs cold, but the hills remember bargains old.
Thanks for reminding me, Wendy.
Sky,
I probably would have forgot.
sugar lie, a bowl of pudding for the watching eye. Now the cavern wakes in sulphur breath. Schools like thunder, wings of death. The flock cries out, "What have you done?" But one refuses to turn and run. Just a sheep in a hero skin, charging a war he cannot win. Linda screams through smoke and flame, "You'll burn alive in the dragon's name." Dragon rising from the storm, fire to ash and flesh to bone. Stomp the ground and raise your shield. Tonight the mountain will not shepherd slayer, a wool-bound heart and a ragged prayer, with a splintered shield and a rusted sword. He's the only
I'm trying to give him some shading.
curse the dragon in blinding white.
I'm still perfecting skin tones, okay? You're dead right though. You're dead right. Thank you, Wendy.
Sing it loud where the air runs deep. Oh, hail the warrior battle sheep.
McFleece! fucking hate skin tones. They're so hard to do. Menstruating man mantis with mantis. Trans mantis.
So many years we prospered. So many years
Oh
we
god.
to a shepherd who'd protect us.
He did a poopy in his diaper.
Of the world. For the hundreds
Oh
of our
god.
flock, the hundreds of our kin.
Hi, that is summer weather.
Our shepherd was our master, and we faithful to him.
It's sunburn, it's not blood.
And I, one McFleece,
Oh,
have a
God.
story for you.
Gonna be a hot one this weekend, 29 degrees, that's 84 in Sweden.
The final notice is due.
Yeah, it's been nice and warm here as well.
Oh, the perpetrator
I
must
think 18 degrees Celsius was the highest we got recently. Which in spring,
It's
like wild. Trantis!
It's the thing to do. Fuck Dragon! We'll teach him for murdering you. He fries you the bones. And now we're left all alone. Well, Dragon Boy, I got a bone of my own. Fuck Dragon! That's the only way he'll learn. Fuck Dragon! Everybody gets a turn. I'll send a message to Dragon and so his Mankey crew. Come back to Sheepville and we'll have our way with you.
Everybody gets a turn is such a diabolical line.
In this letter for you. You red bastard, I ain't scared of you. You best take your scaly ass somewhere anew. If you dare Dragon, come meet me at high noon. I'll make you my bitch and share your wispy tail too. 'Cause we ain't just your normal average sheep. We're the kind that venom.
Yeah, it's looking like it's gonna be an intense summer. Yeah.
We got your little bastard blood in our veins.
I can't stop laughing, my abs.
By the reins. Oh, I got a one-night dragon for you. Sincerely, you one McFleece.
XOXO.
Fuck Dragon. It's the thing to do.
Fuck Dragon.
We'll teach him for murdering you. He fried you to bone.
Oh god.
And now we're left all alone. Well, Dragon Boy, I got a bone of my own. Fuck Dragon. It's the only way he'll learn.
Fuck Dragon.
Everybody gets a turn. I'll send a message to Dragon.
It's so unfortunate that that song gets really quiet. Such a tune. Right, with the help of my feathery friend Tobias Bigus Cross, I shall announce today's phrase of day. Wait, hold on a minute. I thought Didn't I confirm yesterday that the fucking phrase of day tune is beneath? Oh, there's two shanty intros. Okay, never mind. Wait, is it this one?
With a ding.
No, that's not. Yeah, that's not it. Is it the other one then? I don't know where I am. There we go. Okay. No, yeah. There's two of them. All right, fair enough. All right. With the help of my feathery friend Tobias Speakers Cross, we shall announce today's phrase of day.
With a ding of my tiny donga, with a mighty song that I send cleansing vibrations through the interwebs to cleanse you filthy mortals of your dirty, filthy cheek. And allow it to flow freely as I announce today's phrase of the day.
Right, today's phrase of the day is as follows. If beauty is in the eye of the beholder, some people should wear grasses. That's actually a baller phrase. If beauty is in the eye of the beholder, some people should wear glasses. You should have said, some people need glasses. Oh, that's gas. Oh, and so was that. That was also gas. Right. Where am I? What's going on? Oh, shit. Oh, never mind. I thought I misclicked. I didn't. Okay.
I hope you've enjoyed today's painting, Goo. I enjoyed painting for you. And fucking philosophizing.
I did send a corrected F-Dragon song, but yeah, it's further down the list. Too much tuna. It's not that we have too much tuna. It's just unorganized, and that's my fault.
And your ancestors will shame
It's like all in the same place, like, you know. That's my bad.
Farted you. I hope you've enjoyed today's painting.
Yeah, no such thing as too much tuna. It is an abundance. Is glorious. That's the attitude. Right, my beloved Japanite, I must bid you farewell. Remember to pay for painting goo if you have any honor. Thrash that like button like it has insulted your ancestors. And enjoy your weekend. May the gods bless you all. Be good, be true, and be beautiful. And I will see you soon. I probably won't be streaming Monday. Just heads up, you know. You may now weep for no goo Monday. Weep now, not later. You know, get it out of the way. Get all the weeping out of you. So yeah, no stream Monday. I'm making an axe. I'll see you soon. God bless.
I hope you enjoyed today's painting, Goo. I enjoyed painting for you. And fucking philosophizing and talking a load of shit. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. If you haven't paid for painting, Goo, pay for painting.